This is me on the first time, on the first live stream on my phone. I am streaming live from the great state of New York. How's it going? I've never actually streamed from my phone before. I wanted to talk about the rewards of doing the next right thing. I drove 13 and a half hours. I can see your chats from here. How you doing, Kopic? How you doing, Miss Ford? I drove 13 and a half hours. My neck and brain were hurting like crazy. I have a neck injury from old drinking days, and I desperately, I started thinking I could eat a THC gummy when I got here because my head hurt so much and my neck hurt. And I almost forgot my commitment. I decided to take Motrin instead, even though I knew it wasn't going to work. And guess what? It worked beautifully, and I got an awesome night's rest, and I had some sweet dreams because I take it to mean I did the next right thing and took some Motrin instead of going back on my commitment to not smoke or do pot. So I wanted to talk about some of the good things that are happening with me as far as doing the next right thing. And I wanted to ensure anybody that is having trouble doing the next right thing. How's it going, Shades? How's it going, Lawrence, Nayland? How's everybody doing? I'm doing okay. Tomorrow I go with my sister. Hey, Holly. I go with my older sister. I had two sisters. That's sad. Tomorrow I go with my older sister to my younger sister's apartment to clean it out. My sister Terry and me are going to clean out Leanne's apartment, and her memorial is next Saturday, and I'm going to write the eulogy. And the next right thing for me was to drive 13 and a half hours, which wasn't, I wasn't looking forward to it. It's a hell of a drive. Sometimes when I drive up here, I don't ever want to drive back because the drive is so tedious. But my recent experience with doing the next right thing is I took Motrin instead of opiates or THC gummies. And where that was hard because my brain and neck hurt, and I had all the reason in the world to take a painkiller or THC gummy, I decided to take Motrin, even though I knew it wasn't going to work. I thought I knew, just like we think we know a lot of things. But we don't, because the Motrin worked, and I had the sweetest dreams ever. And I also trusted in God coming up here. As you guys know, I'm working the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, the 12-step program, which is Narcotics Anonymous and everything else. It has one of the steps, number 3, is trust in God, hand your will and your life over to the care of God. And basically, this is, if you're going to pray, why worry? If you're going to worry, why pray? I recently just found God. That in and of itself was a miracle because I needed it. A God of my understanding, a power greater than myself to to successfully recover from drugs and alcohol. So how are y'all doing? Hey, Kat. How goes the battle for you all? I am going to well, thank you, Shelley, and I'm glad as well. Yeah, doing the next right thing. To me, this is the language of God. This is my God understanding. To do the next right thing. We all have a barometer for the next right thing. And I believe that that is God's language. That's my belief. But my beliefs aside, in the 12-step programs, they say, when in doubt, just do the next right thing. And you can usually tell what the next right thing is because you don't really want to do it. It's against your normal bright ideas. And this is the essence of a paradigm shift in the way that you think and perceive the world. We no longer go by our own ideas. It's a sickness of the mind. So, to do the next right thing, it's said that everybody knows good from bad and right from wrong. This is true. I've had sponsors tell me, when in doubt, do the opposite of your thinking. So, the opposite of my thinking was take some doo-doo ass, weak ass Motrin if I had the worst neck and head pain in my life. Well, it was like migraine status coming up from my back muscles up through my neck and into my brain last night. So I really wanted to eat a THC gummy. And in early sobriety, this is dangerous because you have the perfectly good justification to, take a painkiller but I did the next right thing and I fell asleep like a baby and had dreams that I'm still thinking of today because they were so sweet. Sweet ass dreams that pretty much reassured me that I'm headed in the right direction. Kopic says, getting sober for as long as I can right now, as I came to a realization the other day, and the only reason I'm drinking is due to my painful situation with the baby mama going crazy and kidnapping my son. Yeah, we seek mind-altering drugs because our minds put us through so much pain. So that's a step in the right direction there, Kopic. Yeah, but my point is, I didn't like many things in this recovery. I had my doubts about whether handing my will over to God and doing the next right thing all the time is really going to do anything. But I'm here to testify that it absolutely does. I want to talk about the rewards of doing the next right thing because they don't always come instantly, although a lot of times they do. Just the feeling of doing the next right thing. And how's this phone set up? Can you guys hear me and stuff? You guys obviously can hear me, but oh, cool, filters. Filters, streaming on the phone with the filters. Thank you, Kat. Bubblicious up in this. Bubblicious up in this. I'm spitting bars all of a sudden. Haunt. Sketch. Oh, cool. I'm liking this. So, I can also, and we might try this, Shades, if you want. let's see, hold on. Ooh, I can start a poll. Let's see. Have you experienced, are you experienced rewards from doing the right thing? Cool, I just started a poll. Basically looking like everything is about to turn back to non-hell reality. Sure, I be missing some people, and it won't be the world I had in a mind as a child, but it won't be hell for long. This is what I'm talking about. I have noticed positive things coming from the direct result of me choosing to do the next right thing. Like, for example, when I decided to do some service work and help somebody move, I hurt my back, but I didn't sweat it because so much good has been coming from actually doing the next right thing. I took the Motrin, didn't think it was going to work. It immediately worked, and I'm talking pain that you don't think anything can fix except some of your hardcore drugs that you got out there. And it is also said that without a spiritual fitness, the alcoholic, the addict, has no defense against the first drink or the first drug. I can say since the third step and so on of the working of the 12 steps, my faith, somewhat blind leap of faith into the steps on my sponsor's suggestion. And I believe in the promises of AA, and we've done streams on it. We've done streams on the promises and what the promises are all about. But it's stuff like you will know a new peace and a new happiness, which I do. You will comprehend the meaning of serenity, which I do. I have my doubts about keeping my dogs in the same house as my sister's cat. I trust in God, and faith without works is dead, they say, which means I got to do my part. I never believed in God or angels, but when my son was just 2 months old and before he was born, something called sand dolphin came to me in meditation and told my purpose on this earth is to protect your son. 90% yes, 10% no. 10 votes. 1 person out of 10 said no. So no, somebody said no, that they haven't. That was a test question. It wasn't a very good question, but somebody said no, so I guess maybe it was. There are other examples of doing the next right thing. Making amends to people is the next right thing, and I've experienced some benefits from that. Different people. But the most significant reward of doing the right thing, living your life by doing the next right thing, is peace, serenity. It is said that the best pillow to rest your head on is a clear conscience. me figure out how to get this. No wonder I never do these phone streams. But yeah, it's time to start listening to my higher power. No more getting drunk when depressed, in my opinion. Okay, so here's a perfect example. Let that turn into anger to motivate me to get my child back. Here's a perfect example. An alcoholic needs to stop drinking. That is for sure the undisputed next right thing, that the addict, the alcoholic, needs to stop drinking, needs to stop using. When you do, simple, not always easy, good things start to happen to you immediately. They start with your health, your morale. Hey, Michael. They continue with your relationships. Family trust comes back. Here's another example. When you live your life by doing the next right thing, no matter how hard that may be, or no matter how much you don't believe in it, different stuff happens that you may or may not connect to. You might have done something a week ago, or just the fact that you're living your life like this produces good effects. For example, my dad lent me his Jeep, which had better tires than my truck had on it. So I've crashed 2 cars in my life because of the tread was worn down on my tires. And yes, yeah, I'm human. I make mistakes. I didn't change the tires out in time of my car. So, like on a wet road, on ice, these things stand no chance. You'll spin out. So, I was worried about the trip up north. I made the decision anyway to do it. I decided to rotate my tires, but I can't afford new tires. But because I've been living right, and there's such a significant drastic change in my persona, my dad trusts me so much that he lent me the Jeep. He just offered to lend me the Jeep, and I no longer have and I drove through a rainstorm, so like having worn down tires, and that would have been very stressful. So when we decide to do the wrong thing, which is it's to comfort our mental disease of addiction. The alcoholic, the addict, our default mood is restless, irritable, and discontent. And this is from the rooms and from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And it's true. If you ask yourself, when you're not using your drug of choice, or if you're running out, or if you ran out, or if you're going somewhere where it's not available, you're not very happy. You're restless, irritable, and discontent. That's our default. So we use mind-altering substances to change that. So the rewards from doing the next right thing. I noticed some of you, it looks like maybe 2 or 3 of you have said no. You haven't experienced rewards from doing the next right thing. The reason we like drugs and alcohol is because the reward comes instantaneously when you take a sip of alcohol or pop a Xanny. That's what's so, quote, good about drugs and alcohol is it's instant. Me and you, your mama and your cousin too, like instant relief from our restlessness, irritability, and discontent. The rewards that you may not be noticing don't come instantly all the time, although a lot of times they do. And a lot of times they are the It's the clear conscience from doing the next right thing. Usually it's something we don't want to do. Help your sister with the dishes. Take Motrin instead of smoke pot. It's stuff we don't want to do. It's stuff that we don't even believe in half the time. But these rewards don't necessarily come instantly, although, like I said, sometimes you will notice. My relief last night was instant. And Motrin, let me tell you something. I still don't know how it worked so well. But my pain was gone, and I slept like a baby, and that's what reminded me to do this stream. Here's another one. So lately, it's been pretty stressful, and I decided to pick up a nicotine vape, even though I quit nicotine. And I haven't been smoking for 3-4 months. But as soon as I started these, I started sweating again profusely, and I started getting headaches. So now I know that doing the next right thing of quitting smoking or quitting vaping, the sweating was plaguing me. I was it was embarrassing. I was getting sweat stains and shit. I wasn't feeling comfortable in my own skin. I felt odd. You know what I mean? So like it was, and the headaches were ruining my life. So like part of that headache last night was from driving and sitting up all day and my neck injury. But I now know that there's something in these nicotine vapes, some toxins that it might not just be the nicotine that trigger super migraine headaches and sweating. And yeah, I'm still doing it. They were on sale. I got 2 for $20, and I'm gonna finish it, of course. But these are, you know what I'm saying? The next right thing would be toss them. And here's what I'm saying about that. I'm starting to have a lot of faith that if I threw this in the garbage right now, some crazy good shit would happen. And that's my word. If not instantly, because my God knows I like instant rewards. The addict works from the reward center of our brains. So a lot of times it seems like a God of my understanding is showing me instant rewards from doing something that I absolutely don't want to do. And the easy answer to that is I've been doing what I want to do mostly all my life, and it has gotten me at the bottom of the barrel, jails, institutions, and death, but a slew of other things. I'm already in the middle of midlife, technically, I guess. And I've been through a slew of relationships, and now through finally giving myself completely to the 12 steps, my character defects are dwindling, tempering down, being just next to nothing. So, to my understanding, our character defects and our character assets are who we are, but it doesn't mean you have to use them. So, what the steps teach you is to use your character assets and work without your character defects. So, my anger, my insecurity, my fear of economic insecurity, and fear of social situations. I don't have to use them. What I can use is the tools of doing the next right thing, helping others when I'm too much in my head about myself, stuff like that. And the point of this stream is being addicts and alcoholics. We operate from the reward center of our brain. There's a scientific term from it. It might be the Abdullah oblongata, or something like that, but there's a reward center in the brain. I think it's towards the front, but some people operate more so off of these than others. And so even doing the right thing, even though it's hard, can produce rewards that are just like a high. You guys may have noticed that I've been pretty happy lately. This isn't my default state. When I'm living the way I thought I wanted to live, sex, drugs, rock and roll, my ego was picking which life I was pursuing. I thought I needed nicotine and pot, and at one point alcohol and drugs, and a glamorous, fun, sexy career. These are all driven by my ego. So do the next right thing. There's rewards in there. Let me see how I can read your guys' comments here. Bonnie. I had to put my 17-year-old cat to sleep Monday night at the vet. She had cancer and stopped eating and drinking. It was heart-wrenching, but I didn't take a drink and I'm still grieving. Sorry to hear that, Bonnie. That's horrible. I'm glad you got to spend 17 years with her. And you did the right thing. In my opinion, keeping animals, although they're in pain and suffering, keeping them alive almost seems as wrong as killing. I thought this when my grandmother, Nana, she was 92, and she was in a nursing home. She was fiercely independent in life, and when I went to visit her in a nursing home, she was looking at me like, why am I still alive? And that's when the question entered in my head. If it is wrong to kill a person, how is it right to keep them alive when nature is trying to take them? So you did the right thing, and I know it's hard, Bonnie, and my thoughts and prayers are with you. No, that's my point, is how is it wrong to kill a being, but, quote, right to keep it alive for years? I had to watch a dog that was an old dog, like 16 or something, and its owner had replaced its hips. Its owner has replaced its hips, and the poor thing couldn't stand up on my kitchen floor. It kept on doing these Van Damme splits, and I had to hold its torso up to eat. And it's like, how is it right to keep this thing alive by keep replacing its hips and shit? Like, is it selfish of us? We still want a companion. I mean, this poor thing. So, Bonnie, you did the right thing, and the right thing is usually hard to do. My sponsor, many sponsors have told me, You know it's the right thing to do because it's usually the thing you don't want to do. It's the thing that's hard to do. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see what this. Okay. A very dear friend just passed, and the funeral's tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to this. I've not seen the family for over a year because of my sobriety. And so you're not looking forward to it. It's probably the right thing to do, to go to the funeral. Maybe if there are certain circumstances, it's not the right thing to do, and it would be hard to not go to the funeral. But I think we know the answer, or you do at least. Right. Financially, we don't want to do things sometimes, like just like that example shades. Being born is probably far more tragic than dying, Bonnie. We just don't remember it. Damn, Miss Ford. You're coming out all poetic. Oh, shit, she retracted it. I thought that was fucking poetic. Greetings, Mike Tucker. How are you now? Uh, nicotine is definitely not the right thing to do, but it's very. Well, shit, I don't know why I started again, but it will end. Because I did it, I now realize these vapes give me headaches and the sweats. I am your mother. I'm fitting to play Red Dead as soon as I get it. I was at a flea market and looking for it, but I couldn't find it. And I brought the PS here, but weep for the newborn, rejoice for the dead. Damn, Nailin. Yo, that's something that's gonna stick with me. The being born is the tragedy. Dying is something to celebrate. Yeah, that's maybe. I gotta word it. You guys are the poets. I really do like that. Um, I might say it at my sister's memorial. I might open with that. Death is not the tragedy. It's being born. That sucks. Well, good. You seem to know the right thing to do. Lawrence, my thoughts are with you. Mike Tucker's got a positive silver lining. There's no Red Dead Redemption after you die or before you're born. Yeah, 20 years old is up there for a kitty. So is 92 for a human. My grandmother was looking at me like, you know what I mean? And I mean, you have my permission, James. I don't know if it's appropriate to do what? To kill you if you're in misery? That's what my dad said. He jokingly said, "You know where my gun is if I ever get that way." How can I get this thing out of my face? So yeah, there are small trivial things like like 13 and a half hour drive's a long way to drive, and I don't have the money, but I'm going to trust in God and make the drive anyway. And because it was the right thing to do, good stuff happened. What's up, Oscar and Magno? Margot? Maganot. The end you make is equal to the love you take. That's a good one. Copic. What's with the black and white filter? I'm just experimenting. This is the first time the dogs were great on the drive. There's a lot of stress to that too. You got to walk them next to highways and stuff. And like, instead of worrying, I just said, it's the right thing to do. And my trust is in God. This came to me as a gift from doing the steps. I used to have a haunted doll shades. So I recently talked to my sister Leanne a couple weeks ago, a month ago. She was big into the paranormal, and I told her she better haunt me if she goes. Was her name Annabelle? Holly? Clown on a swinging chair that would swing by itself, Kopic said. Man, that's from the movie Poltergeist, bro. You ain't fooling nobody, son. Nayland, my dad, my sister Leanne is from a different father, and he's doing all right. He didn't come up with me, but he did spend some time with Leanne this year, and they had some good times apparently, which surprised the hell out of me because they're seemingly different people. Let's see. How'd you know she was haunted, Miss Ford? So I did bring my computer and my studio up here, microphone and everything. I just haven't had time to set it up. I'm planning on it. That's the other thing. A lot of fear is diminished when you live a life of doing the next right thing. A lot of fear, and we've talked about it before. Fear is a symptom of guilt. You never seen Poltergeist with Craig T. Nelson? Yeah, I remember one of the things I told the people at my mother's funeral, my mother's memorial, was I used to believe in ghosts, so much so that I would run up the stairs and run down the stairs to my attic in her house, in her attic where my room was. And one day I said, "Mom, there's ghosts in the attic," and I was yelling downstairs, and then down in the kitchen, the pots and pans got quiet, and she just goes, "Well, if they're up there, they better start paying rent." And that was the day that I said ghosts are pretty ridiculous because I've never seen them. The idea of ghosts, and I wasn't scared of ghosts anymore. My sister Leanne liked tarot cards, Bonnie. The one thing about her, she was very accepting and she was very sure of herself. She was sure she was an addict. She's very sure that there's ghosts and God. There wasn't any doubt there. She knew. Cat, that is exactly what my grandma Betty would have said. What's that, Cat? What would she have said? Only as a child, or when I was magic mushroom altered. Tunisia sober. What, the video game? Or are you talking about the island? I always thought they shot E.T. in the same neighborhood in California, but it was two different places. Yeah, Poltergeist was one of my favorite movies, actually. My whole point, I think, about doing the next right thing is I've been doing the next right thing lately, like I used to do drugs. I've been snorting the next right thing and getting it done, and then reaping the rewards. And the rewards is a lasting peace and serenity and fearless state and a good night's sleep, and some things that are inexplicable, only explained by the presence of God in my life, which is not something I've ever said or noticed. And the first one was the first miraculous thing to happen, because I've went my whole life wishing I believed in God, because obviously Christians do seem to live, Christians or spiritual people that actually have faith seem to be pretty happy, but I just couldn't bring myself to believe. And then when I told my and some of you may have heard this story, but when I told my sponsor I need a God and I don't know how to believe, he said, well, how about you pray for the willingness to believe? And that was the first miraculous thing to happen. Was I all of a sudden, I guess all of a sudden, but it was pretty quick that I had a God in my life and an understanding of how it worked. My point is, in this stream, before I go, something to think about and something to experiment with. The next thing you find that's hard to do, and you know it's the hardest, and you know it's the right thing to do it. See how you feel, and even wait. And if you can't do it, pray for the willingness to do it. And then just sit around and wait for the reward, because God knows that we're reward driven. So if you're willing to reach out to him, or it, if you're willing to reach out to a God of your understanding, I think it's willing to provide you with a reward that sometimes it's really obvious what it is, and sometimes it's not as obvious, which the kind of stuff that's been happening to me, like serenity and peace and fearlessness, I don't care how it came and how long it took to come. The gratitude I feel for it is limitless. Well, I just wanted to touch base with you guys and tell you that I made it, and made it up north, and I'm with family, and I hope you all are doing well. And without a doubt, um, seek out the right thing to do and do it like we used to seek out drugs and do them, because it comes with everlasting rewards, for which I'm grateful for, and I hope you, and I hope them on my loved ones, including you all. And and that's that for tonight. Treat other people how you want to be treated. Exactly. There's a lot of spiritual rules of thumb. Treat others like you'd want to be treated. And thank you, Shelley and Bonnie. I'm sorry to hear about your cat. And yeah, the sweet dreams. It was like God. It was like my God was telling me what my life is now, that I'm on the right track. And well, they're my dreams. You don't. Maybe I'll tell them to you someday. But they were promising, and they were good. They were dreams. And Kopik, I'm so glad to hear that um, you're motivating to do the difficult right things, and that you're noticing there's reasons why we seek out mind altering, uh, feel good drugs such as alcohol and even nicotine. You know what I mean? Well, I'm definitely glad to be smiling again. Hey, what's up, Smitty? And thank you. Yeah, I was grateful to talk to her before she went, but I definitely could have spent some more time with her. And it's very true what they say. You don't know what you have until it's gone. All right, y'all. Well, when in doubt, do the next right thing. And if I miss a stream or two while I'm up here, I know you guys will understand. But I'll be checking in. And thank you for touching base with me as well. And all of you who voted on the poll, for those who answered no, you haven't experienced reward from doing the next right thing. Sometimes it doesn't come in the way that you thought it might come. Uh, for instance, when we break up with someone or stop chasing someone that's trying to break up with us, as I've done in the distant past, how many people haven't had this happen? A better situation comes down the road. Yeah, there was a poll. Have you experienced reward from doing the right thing? And I don't know. I was just checking it out. This is the first time I've streamed on my phone. It was another thing I was nervous about doing that I didn't really want to do without my music and my gadgets. But I knew it was the right thing to do. I know you guys care about me and I care about you, so it's good to touch base. And lighting. I don't have all my fancy stuff, but lo and behold, this is very simple and very convenient. And maybe, you know, when you're willing to do something, you're uncomfortable. the vertical streamer. It is said that everything you want is on the outside of your comfort zone. And, well, the right thing is usually on the outside of your comfort zone. And the more I don't want to do it, the quicker I am to do it these days because it pays. I mean, just think about that. Think about it for yourself. When you've done something that you didn't want to do before, what came of it? You know, maybe you finally learned how to salsa dance, or maybe you met the love of your life. Maybe you got a new pet because you helped somebody with their groceries, or you never know, you know. But I do know the less I want to do it, the quicker I'll go to do it now these days, is because it's usually the right thing to do. All right, y'all. Get comfortable and rest easy. Hit the thumbs up on your way out, and give yourselves a thumbs up while you're at it. That makes 2 thumbs up. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, but if I don't, I will see you the next day. And until then, keep it clean, keep it real, keep doing the damn thing. Peace.